Welcome back to DawnCraft Echoes of Legends. In the last video, we got to Night Rober. We ended up defeating him, and that unlocked the ability to start on the create mod, unlock the water wheel, so we can actually now use that. As you can see, we kind of have our farm here. So a bit of bad luck. I started to record this, and my audio was bad, and so I've already kind of set up a lot of the stuff in here, but I kind of took everything down to kind of show everybody the steps you're going to want to take to set up an auto farm for the first time. I'm still not like super in depth with the create mod itself, but I wanted to kind of give my best shot at it. And so we'll kind of get started here. I have almost all of the stuff already kind of in the chest down here. And so we'll kind of just start with the first thing that you're going to need is well, for me, I'm going to use a large water wheel. To progress down the create mod, as you know, we need the mechanical mixture, which you don't technically need this one because you can still make things by hand. You will need the press. It's this right here. Mechanical mixer, where's the press? This one, the mechanical press, you will definitely need. And then you'll need also a mixer or a millstone. And we'll kind of just walk through these as we go. So of course, to make the mechanical mixer and the mechanical press are almost the same things. You'll also need a basin for the mixer, and then you're going to need a depot for the mechanical press. Those are pretty easy, and again with this you can see how exactly they work and the things of course to make it. So you can see this block of iron, andesite, which we've done. We can click W on these to actually see, and you can see that a depot, the mechanical press. So to get started, you're going to want to put a source of water up here. I already kind of have mine in place, but just to show you again, because when we place the water wheel, it's going to take the directional and going to spin this. So this is where we'll start with, you know, the rotational force to make these kind of automated. And then we're going to need that definitely for the millstone. So you could make an easy setup where it's just, you know, just the wheels and stuff, or the cog set up in a specific way just to get started. But I wanted to kind of get this into the point where I can kind of just set stuff and like go, and then it's kind of taking over for me. So we'll pull the large cog wheels, the normal, we'll get the shafts, and I think that's everything we'll need here. So to start, it's going to be the large cog wheel in the center. And so based on kind of some of the gear ratios and things that you need to do, whenever you place the large cog wheel with a small cog wheel, it actually is going to speed up the second part of it. And so I could do a full like real in-depth explanation about it, but just know if you put a large cog wheel with a small one and then you put the large one on that, it's going to double the speed of the next one. And so the mixer needs a certain amount of speed in order to rotate enough. And so if you don't have the speed, it can't rotate. I set up, we're going to set the small cog here. We're then going to attach a large cog wheel to that, which is going to double the speed of this one. You can't really tell, but it is definitely faster. So then we're going to speed this up again by placing, oh, actually we need to push this out one more. Sorry. Take that off. I'm going to place a shaft here. Then we're going to place the large cog wheel. Then we're going to place the smaller one, which is going, we need to distance it because we need the space here to keep the rotational speed of this one as fast as possible. Now we're going to place the large cog wheel in this one. As you can see, it is moving much faster now the farther that we get away. And then from there, we'll place one more small one diagonally here. So now we pretty much have the first one set up. We'll place a large. Now that is the speed that we want for the mixer. And so it took that many kind of iterations of the cogs to get it to that speed. And then from there, in order to attach it to the mixer, which can only be attached at the top, so I'll place the mixer just here to show you. So it has to be placed up here. We're gonna have to change the direction, and to do that we can place another cog that spins with this one, so those can go horizontally whereas like the small cogs can go like directly next to. And so just kind of know that that's how those two will work. Now that we have this up and down, we can now place a small cogwheel with that, and then now we can place the mixer. Boom. And then now that, as you can see, it would say that it's not rotating fast enough, but now that is rotating fast enough for us just to put our andesite and zinc or whatever else we want in there. So now I want to put, you know, our press, our millstone, and everything up here, so we can kind of get started with how these things are gonna work. And so with that side already having a cog on it, you know, it's coming out right here. This one, this little one, we can also put one directionally there, and then we can just bring this out with the shafts, and we will connect. I think it's just one. Oh, there might be two. Yeah, we can connect our mechanical press right there. And so the hardest part about this is just getting the alignments of these to make kind of like a wall here. And then the best part about this is our millstone also runs on a small cogwheel. So we already have it kind of set up here. So we can just put a shaft here. We can put a small cog and then one, like I said, right next to it. And now all three of, I think, the machines that we need pretty much to start everything is set up here. And so now we can kind of make this look better, but this will be like my machine setup for getting all the stuff that we need to get into the create mod. And so again, in the last episodes, we already kind of created everything and got it set up. And then come to kind of find out that, you know, we couldn't really utilize the water wheel and stuff. So we already have the harvester. We have the linear chassis, which again, I can kind of go down in each of these on how to make, but I think it'd be pretty simple. But I kind of wanted to show us setting this up. And so I already had it set up. And again, I'm going to show you, it's just the same thing here. This is just a smaller cog wheel. So I'm going to break all this. So here we have the smaller cog wheel. And so that is again delivering that rotational force. We just have these here for to not fall in the water or anything. So we'll put these back. And so that is going to run up into where our machine is going to be. We're going to definitely need a few more. We're going to definitely need a few more shafts here. So I might have to go get some supplies, but we'll grab all this now. Now the next step, before we kind of go do all that, is you're going to need these things. You're going to need the linear chassis, which I have here. You're going to need the radial chassis. You're going to need 4 chests or 3 chests, 4 mechanical harvesters, mechanical bearing, a chute, and portable storage interface. And so we already kind of created all those things. The hardest thing that you're going to have to get, and I'm going to walk you through that step by step, is to get slime, because the only way to get it to like where the machine, and I'll demonstrate this like as I do it, the only way to get the machine to like stick together whenever it starts rotating is slime. I made the mistake of thinking, I thought each time you use the slime it would be 1. So pretty much I'm going to lay out exactly what the machine will look like whenever you do the radial chassis. So you'll do, these are the linear, you'll need the radial chassis down, and that'll be like your start. And then when you put your linear chassis, I'll show you up there when we start, but this doesn't stick together. It'll only rotate the center. And so what you're going to need to do is place the slime on it and then put the linear chassis, and now it's stuck together. So it'll make a lot more sense whenever we get everything started to be set up. But now to make a slime ball. Now this took me absolutely forever. I'm going to walk you through each step. It's pretty simple whenever you actually figure it out. But the main thing that I got was this one, this track line. I looked down a lot of these track lines on how to get here, and a lot of it isn't as easy to get to. This was the easiest one. So dough is just wheat flour you put in the millstone, and which you will need to kind of hook up a machine. You put wheat in there, you can get wheat flour pretty easy. The harder one is going to be this lime dye, which doesn't sound that hard, but in my biome, I could not find any cactus. And this stuff, I have no idea where it is. So, can't find cactus, can't find moss. So there's other ways you can go down. So we can go into the Farmer's Delight. You can create an iron knife. You can find tomato shrubs, and that'll give you green dye whenever you do it. I could not find a lot of tomato shrubs, so the pathway that I went down was collecting rose bushes, poppy flowers, and all of those things. Once you have your meal set up, I went and collected a bunch already. You're just gonna come over here. You're gonna drop them in there. And then there's it's probably like 1 out of every 10 you might get a green dye out of it. So hopefully we get a green. I'll let it kind of go here. There's one finally. It took way more than what I thought or what I said, so we'll pop those out. So we finally got 1 green dye, and now you're gonna need the white dye. So again, to get white dye, you have these flowers, the button bush. You can do bone meal in the crafting table. The milling, you can go get the azure bluette. You can go get white tulips. You can go get oxy daisies. I think that's how you say it. And then you just hope that you get white dye. And we already got one. So we'll pop those out, put those back in there, and then that's all you need in order to make the lime green dye. And then of course you'll put those two together in a crafting table with the dough, and that'll get you a slime ball. You only need 1 slime ball. Make the shafts, kind of show everybody what it takes to actually get this going. The main things, of course, with the mixer, just real quick to show you why we want this. So if we type in alloy, you go to the andesite alloy. In the mixer, it just takes 1 zinc nugget or iron nugget in andesite, but when you craft it here, it takes 2 of each, so it halves the recipe value for this. And then of course with this, in order to make the harvester, you need the press, because the harvester needs iron sheets to make it. So does a lot of the other stuff. So with that, you'll just place an iron on it, it'll auto do it, or you can put a hand crank on this one in the mixer. So again, it's the same method. I wasted a lot of time trying to click to put the andesite and stuff in there, but it's the same thing. You just kind of drop it, push that, and then we'll start to mix it, and then you'll get an andesite alloy. Then we'll take it out. Did I take it out? Nope. Boom. So with that, we'll just put 8 of these in there. 7, 8. And then we'll have 8 andesite alloys coming out. And again, hopefully we can get, far enough into this mod while still, doing the DawnCraft stuff to explore the create mod itself to see what it can do to help me. What I really want this to do to help me is with food, maybe with some resource gathering. But again, I'm not too deep into the create mod yet. I have a lot of things to learn. There's a lot of complexities you can get to, and I definitely want to attempt to go down the mod pack as much as I can. All right, we'll now go outside. I kind of did a few more changes to the base, just trying to make it as nice as we can. So I already kind of have the setup exactly what I want to do, but I'm gonna walk you step by step. So you have your water source block. Now directly below this is going to be your machine. We don't want to connect it just yet, but ideally what you'll do, I'm gonna break that, is actually I should run the shafts up first. I'm gonna run these shafts up. It doesn't have to be as distant as this one is, but you'll see with just my setup why it has to be this way. Water is gonna run in here for a second. Place 1 more shaft. Okay, now we can go to the top. It'll make sense in a second, but you pretty much want to connect your machine or the rotation of the water wheel up here already. And then we don't want to put the mechanical bearing down yet, but we'll save that one because it's going to already start making this go. So we're going to put the linear chassis. That is not the right way. Let's put... do we have a plank? Yes. Put a plank down. to take place of it. We'll put the mechanical bearing down. There's a plank below it. And then I will place the radial chassis on top of that. So remember the mechanical bearing. And again, if you need to see how to make it, pretty simple. A plank and a sight and a shaft. So with that, it already, as you can see, it already kind of has like a sticky substance to it. I don't know how or why it already does, but it works. So you'll put your radial chassis. We're gonna have to move the torch. Well, wait, I think it can go through it, but we'll move it for now. So you have your radial chassis. Now this is where the slime ball comes in. And I could show you why if I attach it, but pretty much this middle part will just spin and it won't take the linear chassis with it until you slime it. Then you put the linear chassis, and now these two are stuck together, and so it will spin it. So with that, we'll put that one. We'll do another one. Gotta break these plants. That one's stuck. Another one. And one more. Boom. So now these are all set up. And then now, with the rotation, I'm pretty sure it's going to the right. Might have to break it and redo it. We'll break all these. Now you'll get your mechanical harvesters. Same thing. Okay, I'm definitely making mistakes. So with the linear chassis, that was the problem. Here, whenever you do this, you would have to do it with the slime. But if you set it up where it's this way, they act as kind of like pairings. And so they'll auto like go together with each other. And that's where the slime comes in on these sides, is because to set up the machine, we're going to need to put chests and harvesters on each side. So we set that up. We'll put the harvesters here. We have the chest that will go on the back of this. Let's just make all of them the same. All right, so each of these have it. You get your wrench out. You'll set this to 1 for each of these. Make sure you click right on it. Okay. So as you see, now it's just 1 to 1. Oh, that one's at 2. Still at 2. Well, I can't get that to go to 1. We'll just leave that one, see what happens. So now that all these are set up, we will now set up the portable storage interface, which will auto deposit the stuff into this chest. So how to do that is we will just, honestly, you're just gonna put it on here and it will stay. And so once you put the portable storage interface, you're gonna get 2 chests or a chest. You're gonna need to use chutes. You're gonna place the chute down, and then the storage interface goes on top of that, facing towards where the other one is going to be. And then now we'll go downstairs and attach this shaft, and then hopefully, if the direction was set correctly, we should hear it start to go. I think we were spinning it the wrong way though. It looked like that was going to the right. Yeah, we're spinning it the wrong way. Mechanical bearing. There it goes. And now it should auto-rotate, drop everything into the chute, which goes down in that chest, and then it's going to just keep spinning. One thing that I found out too is that we don't have like the perfect setup, like all the angles of this correctly, but we now have an auto farm. And so as the crops grow, I gotta till all that, hoe that land, but as the crops grow, this will keep going while we're doing stuff, deposit in there. And then really what I want to make with this cropland is the vegetable soup. That's like what I find to be like the easiest to grow. You get good food diversity, you get good food comfort. There's a lot of foods in the farmers mod, and we can really get down into, you know, some of the more complicated items, but I've kind of peeked through some of them, and like chicken soup would be also pretty good to do, but again, we just need like a chicken farm. But this is like, in my opinion, like probably the easier one, just because we can just grow everything here. So let's re-get the land back good, and we'll fully plant everything. This is now a fully functioning farm now. Yes, fully planted. So now we won't have to do anything else with this except, you know, of course, like try to make sure the water doesn't freeze. But that torch should stop all that. But other than that, that is a full functioning farm. We still need to set up 2 more things in the Farmer's Delight mod, and that's going to be the cooking pot. So to make the vegetable soup, you have to cook it a certain way. So we need cooking. So let's do at, yeah, right there. So we need a cooking pot, which is 3 iron and 2 brick. We need clay balls. We'll do, how many do I want to do? Let's do like 10. So that'll give us the brick. We need a wooden shovel. And then also I'm assuming we're going to need the stove. There's 3 iron, we need a campfire. It's pretty simple as well. Alright, the bricks are done. I think we have everything now. So we need 4 of these. And I thought we just made the campfire. Make the campfire. Awesome. Stove. Okay. I think we're probably just gonna place it here. Looks like a good spot. Now, I wonder how you get the stove. Is it automatically just hot? Oh yeah, because there is a campfire in it. Dinner is served. So, oh, now we might be able to make our first vegetable soup. Let's see what we need. I need, oh, lettuce and bowls. I think I already made a bunch of bowls earlier. Those are pretty simple. I think it's just 3. Isn't it just this? Yes. There we go. We got 8. Could make more. We'll start with 8. And then we need cabbage. We can kind of double the amount that we're using. So we'll do cutting board. We need 4 planks. Make this cutting board. Place the cutting board. Yeah, we'll move you. We'll move the lantern over to the corner. Put you right there. Let's put the cutting board here. And then we're gonna need a knife. So I need a piece of iron. I do have that, and a stick. I think that's all you need for a knife. Yes, iron knife. And then I think if we put the cabbage on this, you hit it with a knife and you get 2 cabbage leaves, which I think part of the recipe is it could be either. It could be cabbage or cabbage leaf. And so if you do that, we'll be able to duplicate or kind of double the supplies we have. So we'll cut a few of those up. Alright, I kind of want to just throw everything in here now. Alright, here we go. Put the bowls. And then I'm assuming it auto does it. Oh, wait, you don't do that. Wait, maybe this? We have everything in there. Oh, it just auto does it. We now have our first vegetable soup. Alright, here we go. Alright. Comforting. Can I see what that buff actually is? I don't know what the buff is, but we have it. And so now, I don't know if we can make this like automatically, but we can definitely make ourselves a lot better food items now that we have all this kind of set up. And as we kind of extend out the farm itself, I know we can make a lot of different kind of items or foods. And then one thing I also seen, let me make sure, is a lunchbox that you can make. And what a lunchbox does is you can put a bunch of random foods in it, and when you're hungry, you just kind of click like eat this, and it will pick a random one just to keep like your food diversity up. And so, do we still have that food book? That's probably going to be up in the top one. All right, so the food book, and really what I wanted to like make sure is when you get your food diversity levels up, it'll kind of show you the old foods you've eaten, and so it'll show you like the max, like the benefits. And I think right now this is our current food, so if we go to 7, like we haven't reached it, so we need 12 in order to, you know, get our food diversity high enough to, and I think it just adds these together, I guess. Yeah, 7, so 4, yep. It'll add all the foods we just eaten together, and once we hit these thresholds, we're going to be able to get a lot stronger and better. So we need to make really good foods in order to get there. You're going to have to make some of the best foods and eat just those. So really making these and eating only these is like a big deal. So as we get kind of down more into the farmer, there is, or the Farmer's Delight mod, there is a lot of benefits to this. So like some of the best ones you can get is, I think like just like in the 4.5. So you're going to need to eat all of like these kind of foods and things like this just to be able to sustain that high enough. So it might not be like doable for always, but in general, I just want to be able to have the ability to do those things. And then now I think the only last thing to do is I wanted to start, you know, getting hopefully chickens. That was the idea, is going out trying to find some chickens just to be able to make the chicken soup if we wanted to. So that, I think it's to get chickens is the seed. Draw them back here. I did think I heard something like a cage you can use, but we have one right here. So I might, if I run out of luck, try this cage thing I've heard, where I think you can go out and just capture them, but don't really know too much about that. So we'll get our first chicken in here. Hopefully this is easy. Come on. Awesome. All right. Got our first one. All right, here we go. Come on, little buddy. Perfect. All right. Kind of do the double gate just to make sure nothing gets out. Now we'll go get a lot more seeds, which should be hopefully in our little chest system here. Awesome. And then now, start of our chicken farm. I need to make this easily accessible. Awesome. When we were out, we actually did finally get some arcane essence. So we actually did get one, and we know with arcane essence that there's a lot of things that we can kind of like utilize it for, but it's mainly to do with creating a lot of the magical stuff and upgrading ourselves. Really with the smelter or the smithing, which we can't use yet, or we can, but we just don't have enough arcane essence. I want to get more to re-get our magician stuff back and to be able to start progressing down like a lot of the magical items, because at the end of the day we picked the astrology class for a reason, but I haven't been able to really play like an astrologer. So alright, I think that'll do it for this video. We got the chicken farm, the auto farm, create mod started. If you have any tips with the create mod or anything that I'm doing I can do it better, please leave a comment below about that. I'm still learning a lot of this stuff, and I don't really know probably the best way to do these things, but nevertheless I'm trying to figure it out on my own. But if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.